Hey everybody, Beerliger here with a product review. Letting you know this is a thing that exists if you haven't seen it. I guess kind of video before. This is the custom SkateWorks trigger tool. So what is this? Basically, this is a upgraded version of this little trigger tool that these came with my Bauer holders. And what this guy is for is when you have to go replace the steel on these holders. You pull in the trigger. That's how the whole system works. Got a little trigger here you pull in, and a lot of times the skate's supposed to pop out. Usually doesn't. So this has a little piece of metal in here. See if you can see that, and a little notch on top. You get the metal in the back there underneath the blade, get it in the notch, and then you just pop it out. That's what this is for. Super handy, and you kind of need it if you have these kind of blades and you need to replace them, because otherwise then you have to get like pliers or something to yank the steel out of the holders, which not great. These triggers can kind of get jammed up a little bit, kind of get caught up. The steel can get caught in there, depending on if you replace it or not. Most people don't replace their steel regularly, so it is going to get kind of jammed up in there. I mean, if you're someone that rotates through your steel, then maybe it's not as big of a deal, but something you need to probably deal with at some point. So what this is, the custom SkateWorks. If you don't know them, SkateWorks, they're a hockey shop, and they have a pretty good online presence on a bunch of different things. And they do like videos and TikToks, Instagram stories, and stuff like that. Mostly talking about skates, kind of showing off different things they're doing in their shop with skates, from repairing or sharpening, and giving tips on different things, and skate maintenance and all kinds of stuff like that. So totally worth a follow to check them out, just from their regular social media presence. But they have this tool that you can buy. It's $20. In my opinion, totally worth $20 for it, because what it is you can kind of see here on the end, it has, see if you can get that. It's got that little metal piece with the notch, just like the other tool does. So you can do the exact same thing where you get it in here, and you can use it to pry out your blade. But kind of the real magic of this is you can see it's got a couple different levels of curves on there. And what that is for is stick it here into where the trigger is, and then you can just twist it and pop the trigger. You don't have to use your finger or your thumb or anything like that to get it out. It gives you a little bit more leverage, a little bit easier to do it versus just doing it with your hand. And like I said, these things do get jammed up pretty easily. So it's nice to have that, because kind of the other way you have to do that is, maybe get a screwdriver in there, I've seen people do, and kind of, wrench back on it, grabbing both sides of it or something like that. And, not the greatest way to do it. It works, but not the best way to do it. Whereas this guy's a handier way to do it, much handier thing for it. And then also the other piece that this guy does, as you can see, it's got a groove in the bottom. And that's so you can just kind of put that over. It sits nicely on your skate blade, and you can use that to pull down and push the steel back into the holder. So you're not having to, just use your hand and possibly cutting it, or having to just, jam it into the floor or use a rubber mallet like I have done. This has a much nicer way to do that. Kind of other little advantages of why this is a cool tool versus having this one. This is a little, it's a pretty sturdy plastic, but not super sturdy. I can totally see it breaking over time with no problem. This is much larger, so it's easier, get a hold on it and everything, and hold it. Also, you're not going to lose it, and it is a much sturdier plastic. I'll see if you can hear kind of what it sounds like. Yeah, it's a much sturdier plastic than that little one, which I think is totally handy. So, while you have to keep this in your bag or whatever if you're changing steel, it only does one thing. This does, they say, 3 things. It does 3 things easily. It also, you can see on the end here, because it is different sizes, and it has this little notches up here, so it does senior skates, junior skates, and kind of the more modern, where it's real small little trigger areas in there with these notches for it. A super, super handy thing. It costs $20. I think it's totally worth it, especially if you lose this. This is a much better replacement than buying another one of these. Also, too, having 2 of them, not the worst thing in the world. You can have one at home, one in your bag, or if you have multiple bags, something like that. super handy to have. All right, I will leave down in the description of this video, I will leave a link, obviously, to SkateWorks, but also to a video they did where they talk about this tool as well, and they kind of introduce it to people. This is the second gen of these tools. The first gen doesn't have these notches in it. That came out for some of the more modern skates that need that to be able to get in there to pop that trigger. So you can see about that. All right, well, thanks a lot, everybody. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this is something new to you, and hopefully it's helpful for you. Let me know down in the comments if you've used these trigger tools from SkateWorks, or if you've used any other trigger tools or anything like that that are out there to help out with skates. Let me know. Love to hear about it. All right, thanks a lot, everybody. Catch you in the next one.